Hello viewers, today we're going to be replacing the hard drive and memory in this IBM T60 laptop. We are getting a media test failure error on boot, so we may have a dead drive in there, or we could have a bad or dirty connector or something of that nature. So we'll start with just replacing the drive with a new one and see what happens from there. The drive is located over here, and it's a singular screw to release it. And the screw, it needs to come out entirely. It's a very long screw. I usually take something to kind of push this forward just a little bit, and that allows the screw to keep threading. And then once it comes up enough that I can grab it, I can pull it out. And now this will come out. And let's see what kind of drive we have here. Okay, we have a ocean fence, probably just failed. This is from 2007, so I was reading that correctly. Yeah, I have no doubt that this just failed, because these drives were junk. These ocean fence things are always breaking. Now we do have a caddy here, and the replacement, it's not a perfect fit because these are a little bit thicker than these solid state drives are, but it'll work. I've put these in these things many times and they work just fine. Okay, so we're going to use, these are all light off, I guess we'll just have to use a light off. We're going to use that drive, and so we know that it sits in the caddy like this. So it's going to go like this. And because I don't know what's on here, we're going to have to destroy this drive because I can't erase it. So let me just make a notation on here that this is no good. And we'll deal with that later. Because I have no idea, there could be documents or something on there that's personal to somebody. Never had an issue with anything getting leaked out that I grab, and I'm not going to have that happen anytime soon. That's one of the things you got to be careful with if you're dealing with used computers, especially if you're grabbing them out of the trash or whatever. You got to be mindful of where they were used and who used them and what could possibly be on them. Because a lot of people throw out the machines, they don't realize that their whole life story is still on the unit, and so for reasons of ethics, you have to kind of protect them from themselves, if you will. Alright, so that's good to go now. It's going to go like this. And see, this doesn't quite fit correctly now, because it's like maybe 1/8 of an inch shorter. They don't even stay on here right. So it's not really correct, but it'll work. It's not gonna be an issue. The most difficult thing will be getting it to plug in correctly. Which it seemed to do just fine. Okay. Let's close this back up, and let's go ahead and go into the BIOS and see if we have a drive being detected. I'm sure we do. I see those things fail all the time. Let's just see if we get a result here. It's got it. It's reading it, so I think it'll work fine. We're good. It's working. I'm satisfied that it's working. Let's go ahead and off this again, and we'll change out the. See what we can do with the memory. I'm not sure what type of memory is in here. Probably, I would guess it's going to be DDR2, most likely. So, memory is going to be that screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw. And it's going to remove the palm rest. And the memory will be beneath the palm rest. I don't really like that. I think Dell's design was better, where it had the expansion slot on the bottom, which was easy access, and then the other piece was under the keyboard if you needed to replace that. This kind of makes it a little bit more complicated, even if you're just doing an upgrade like we are now. Okay, so go back on the other side now. This should, and it comes up relatively easily. You know, it's not too bad, but I still just don't particularly like it. And there's our memory modules right there. So we're going to take this out, and this is a 512 stick. So we'll take these out, and we're going to put 2 gigabyte sticks in here, which I have already misplaced. What kind of memory is this? It looks like DDR2 to me. I have some brand new DDR2. Let me get this opened up, and we'll slip this in there. And then 2 with the SATA SSD is not too bad. This will take, I'll put Windows 7 32-bit on here, and it'll run fine. This is kind of off-brand memory. We'll see how it holds up over time. I'm sure that Samsung memory is better quality, but you don't get a lot of options now for DDR2. You know, you get these cheap ones out of China. I mean, that's about all there is. It's not really produced much anymore, because the format is just getting really old at this point. Okay, so the memory is installed. Close this back up. This thing is pretty gross. It's going to need a good cleaning. This is not aligning quite correctly. Okay, that seems to be pretty much correct. And notice how all these screws are the same size. Like they tried to make it easy. With the junk today, you get 4 different size screws to do this. It's ridiculous. Okay. Let's see if we get our 2 gigabytes of memory now. It's trying to boot to that blank SSD. I didn't press the ThinkVantage button soon enough. Try and press it sooner this time. Huh, wonder if that memory is no good. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd like to at least see a boot menu or something here. That memory must not be any good because it's sitting there checking for too long. Alright. Or I should say it's not checking. It should have been checking the memory. One of those sticks did look a little flaky. The connectors didn't seem quite right. So maybe we got a defective stick of memory here. Yeah, see that right there? That could be enough to cause a bad connection. Let's see if it boots without that stick in there. Nope, still not happy. Unless maybe 1 gigabyte is the highest capacity for this unit. I didn't look it up prior to the video. I figured it would be 2. Let's see what happens with no memory. Okay, so there's our memory error. So we're not getting specifically a memory error. Let's just try a reseat of it and let's try again. I saw the hard drive light flicker for a second. Two gigabytes. Alright, I think we're good now. I guess that's just what it does if there's a blank drive. Okay, so the memory is fine. Ugh, now I gotta play with this again. Well, that's good. I'm glad the memory is okay. I'm going to look in the BIOS and see if I can set it to do that memory check again. That was kind of cool. I haven't used a computer that does that on startup in quite a while. Alright, let's see where that was. Probably would be on the startup somewhere. Let's try that. Let's see if it does the memory test now. Yep, that's what I wanted it to do. Okay, so that was successful. We are ready to install the Windows.